there, this is Michael Ludden, and as you can see, this is my iPad Pro 9.7 review. I'm going to go over the iPad and some of the accessories and talk about the pluses and minuses. First of all, I'm coming from an iPad Air 2. So comparing this to that, I'm talking about what is over and on top of what the iPad Air 2 does. If you want to get a great tablet, but you're not a power user and you don't care about the pen, I would get the iPad Air 2. It's great. It's cheaper now. Great screen tech, similar performance. Well, this is supposedly faster, but for my daily usage, it's not that much better. But, okay, before I get into that, obviously I drew this with the pen. I'm going to my notes, my very poorly written left-handed notes that I wrote using the Apple Pencil. And so as you can see right here, I've got some positives and some negatives, right? So I guess I should add to that. Cost. There we go. So as you can see, the pencil works great. So yeah, speaking of the pencil works great. The latency is extremely low on the pencil. It writes really fast, and there's pretty good palm rejection, so you can actually put your palm down and write, which is important for me as a left-hander to be able to do, and one of my big pain points. I really do like that there's no lag. However, on the negative side, as you can see, but maybe not read, pencil setup. So every single time you want to use the pencil, you have to take this cap off, put this little lightning port thing in the bottom here, which will connect it to the Bluetooth. Bluetooth has to be on when you're using the pen, and then you can write. It doesn't just work right out of the box. You don't just start writing on the screen. It won't work. So according to Apple, one of the benefits of this is that because it's also connected to Bluetooth and there's special screen tech like in other things, it can obviously register pressure, but there's very little latency, which I do notice. The downside is, obviously, you have to have Bluetooth on all the time and connected. Also, unlike other tablets and phablets that I've used, this needs to be charged. It's not inductive charging from there. So you will have to actually stick it in here. They also have an adapter where you can use your wall charger. But this is just a terrible location. Like, if I stick it in here and have to charge it by this, it's just really dumb. Just terrible design. I'm not a fan of that. And also this, like, more removable parts, why? There's got to be a better way to do this. And frankly, there is. I mean, Wacom tablets have been doing it for a while. This is a $100 accessory, so you'd think they would make it a little easier. It would be great if I could just plug there, just pick it up and use it anytime I want, like I can on a Samsung Galaxy Note for the last 5 years, or like I can on any number of Windows tablets or even graphic pads. So there's no reason they had to do this. It's probably just being cheap. But at the end of the day, after you get it set up, it is very intuitive. The other thing you should note is that there's no place to put the pencil, whatever. There's no place to put it, right? So you got to keep it separately. There are currently no accessories for this from Apple, and that's another oversight. It's like this thing could get lost, and it's $100. It's an investment. So it'd be nice if some of the accessories came with a little ring you could pop it into, or even the device itself. But no such luck. That said, the experience once you get it set up each time is fairly good with this. So all right, moving on to the cover. So I'm pretty pissed that I couldn't use an iPad Air 2 one. It was a little bit janky, and really this adds no extra benefit except that they moved the magnets here, so it's a little bit touch and go with the older folio covers. The only other thing I will say with this, and I'm not going to cover it now, is this side also has a magnet, so it sticks to the edge here, which is something people complained about, that it would just flop open. So now if you hold it upside down, it won't flop open. Is that worth, another $50 to $100 purchase? No. I mean, it would be nice if, whatever. If people don't care about that, if they had made it backwards compatible, because literally, this is exactly the same size as the first one. It really is, and there's no reason it shouldn't work. So, all right, moving on from there. The speakers. All right, so the big gimmick for this guy, other than the pencil, is the speakers. So you've got 2 speakers up here, 2 speakers down here. Unfortunately, the speakers up here are located towards the edge, and the speakers down here are located towards the middle. Which means that no matter what orientation I hold the device, as long as I'm holding it, they're covered up. So even that thing where it's like, oh, it'll rotate with you and the sound will rotate. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, what it means is it vibrates on the top and the bottom, and there's nothing I can do about it. Whereas before, it only vibrated on the bottom. And it's still not great. You're still going to want to connect it to a Bluetooth device or use earphones, which is what I regularly do. So the speaker thing doesn't do it for me. Just give me a couple of really great speakers that don't vibrate it. I mean, I guess if you have it loud enough, it's going to vibrate. But really, this added nothing to me. And for the thing I do like about Apple products is they're very symmetrical. These speakers are not. It's at the edge here, at the beginning here. So even if I decided to grip it here or grip it here, okay, I could avoid this one, but I would be hitting this one. So why couldn't they just be in the same location at the very least, right? So I can grip it in a place where I won't cover one at some point. But they made it impossible. I'd have to grip it like this, or grip it like this, and it's just very awkward. So shame on you, Apple, you're slipping. Talking about the camera on this is amazing. It's an amazing camera. So it's the same camera that's on the iPhone 6s Plus, which means unlike the iPhone 6s, you get optical image stabilization with the camera, and it's the same amazing camera which rivals the best from Samsung and anybody else in mobile. And so you get pretty much the best camera you can get from, definitely the best camera you can get from Apple here. And then the problem with that, though, is it creates a camera bump. It also has a flash, by the way, which the iPad Air 2 didn't do. So if photography is for some reason important to you, like it is to me, I use it to film videos and stuff like that, then it might be worth the upgrade. But the camera bump sucks. It sticks out from the back, and even having the device down like this, there's a little bit of wobble, and also it's easily scrapable. Oh, I guess this just turned off. So I ran out of battery. So what else was I going to talk about? The performance is fantastic. It's extremely fast. Haven't had a problem yet. I didn't have a problem with the last one either, though. So if performance is no issue with the iPad Air 2 or this, and neither is battery life, and neither is any of the other things you run into with some other tablets. This is the best tablet money can buy at the end of the day, but it's expensive. That's the last downside. So is it worth it for you? If you're coming from an older iPad, an iPad Air 1, which had battery life issues, or an iPad mini or something, and you want the most powerful iPad with the most features, well, this is for you. If you have an iPad Air 2, I wouldn't upgrade unless you really need this, but there are actually other styluses from places like Evernote that can actually connect via Bluetooth and do similar things in certain apps. So you don't even need this. There are other solutions for you. So I would say don't upgrade if you have an iPad Air 2. Anything older than that, this might be worth the upgrade if you like the extra features, if you want a camera, if you have problems with battery life on your current device. So there you go. Thanks a lot for watching.